Archangel Michael says, have you felt it today? That strange stillness pressing into your home? That sudden pause in your heart? That chill down your spine even when the room was warm? That was not coincidence. That was a knock. Not from the outside, but from the realm of spirit. A spiritual messenger is standing outside your home. They are not human. They are not ordinary. They carry a sealed message, wrapped in light, inscribed with your name in heaven's ink. And I must warn you, if you miss them, they will not return. This is not a routine visitation. This is a divine appointment. And the window is closing. Do you remember waking in the night for no reason? Do you recall seeing shadows dance where no one walked? Did your ears ring unexpectedly while your thoughts suddenly froze? That was the messenger trying to reach you. And now, I, Archangel Michael, have been dispatched to stand over your threshold with sword drawn. Because this is your final alert. The next decision you make could shift your entire future. And if you delay, the cost will not just be time, it will be destiny. Someone in the spirit has begged heaven to deliver this to you before it's too late. Tonight is not ordinary. The air is heavy because the veil is thin. Your soul is being summoned. What you do in the next few minutes will be recorded in eternity. You don't get this kind of knock twice. You have asked God for a sign. This is the reply. Do not skip this. Do not dismiss this. Heaven has sent someone to your door, but they are waiting for you to open it. Type 777 if you're ready to receive what was sent just for you. Archangel Michael says, you are standing at a doorway, but not one built with wood or stone. This doorway cannot be touched by your hands, yet your spirit has already been brushing against it. It is the place between the seen and the unseen, between earth and heaven, between delay and divine arrival. I have come to tell you, the door is open, but only for a moment. A spiritual messenger is outside your home, not pacing with human feet, but hovering, watching, waiting. They were not sent by chance. They were sent by command, assigned to your name, wrapped in divine light and carrying something more sacred than words, a spiritual delivery sealed with your future inside it. Let me tell you the truth. Heaven never sends messengers casually. And this one has been trying to reach you for longer than you know. Through dreams, through patterns, through whispers you brushed off as just your imagination. But now, the veil has thinned and the atmosphere is shifting. The air is heavier because something holy is drawing near. This messenger does not knock on the front door. They do not ring your bell or call your phone. They knock in the spirit. And if your spirit is not open, the message returns unopened and may never return again. Child, this is not about religion. This is about recognition. Your soul has felt them already. That restless pressure that visits you before sleep. That sense someone is near when no one is visible. That moment you turned suddenly, sensing a presence, but saw nothing. That was not fear. That was alignment. You are not imagining these things. You are sensing a spiritual interruption. The kind that only comes when heaven is preparing to reveal something that was hidden. Ask yourself, why now? Why today? Why does this message find you at this very moment? As your heart grows more exhausted, your questions deepen, and your clarity grows thin. Because timing in the spirit is exact, and this messenger has been waiting until your soul was tired enough to finally listen. Your spiritual ears were clogged by noise, your eyes blurred by the repetition of routine. But now the patterns are cracking, the winds are whispering again, and the spirit world is stirring. Because you are being invited into something divine, but it requires your participation. You must open the door, not your physical door, your spiritual gate. The gate that has been blocked by fear, by disappointment, by spiritual fatigue. You've asked, why does it feel like nothing's changing? Because you've been standing near the door without stepping through it, and the messenger cannot enter unless you open from within. This is spiritual law. Heaven does not invade. It waits for welcome. And I, Michael, have come ahead of this moment to call you to attention, before the window closes and the chance is gone. Tonight, the presence at your door will not shout. It will whisper, and only those attuned to the Spirit will recognize it. The message will arrive in strange ways. A voice you hear while alone. A knock that disappears when you check. An old journal you feel pulled to open. A text message with timing too exact to be coincidence. A name that repeats in your mind, refusing to leave. The messenger may not look like a winged being. They may come through a child's words, a stranger's gaze, a moment of déjà vu, a breeze that carries a message your ears cannot translate, but your soul instantly knows. But one thing is certain, they will come. And if your heart is too busy, too bitter, too bound, they will pass by. And I weep when heaven's messages are missed. Because this moment, this sacred appointment, is not just about guidance. It's about a turning point, a revelation, a divine permission that unlocks things you've waited years to receive. Let me ask you something deeper. Do you remember that moment when you almost gave up? That day you whispered, "God, if you're real, show me." That prayer didn't vanish into the sky. It was assigned, and the messenger at your door is the answer to that prayer. But if you do not open, you will say again, "God never answered." And I will ache, because heaven did. But you didn't hear it. So I beg you, be still tonight. Be quiet. Pay attention to the smallest details. Because spiritual messages are not always loud, but they are always precise. There will be a shift, a sensation, a moment of recognition. And when it happens, do not delay. Open. Respond. Welcome. Because the messenger will only wait so long. Then, they must return with the scroll still sealed. And with them goes the opportunity you've cried for. I have stood in thousands of doorways in the Spirit. Some opened quickly. Others were never opened at all. And the most tragic thing I've seen is the soul who begged for a miracle and then ignored its knock because it came in a form they didn't expect. This is your moment to do differently. The doorway is now. Don't miss it. Don't let the messenger walk away. You've waited for this moment far too long, and if you open, everything changes. You are not alone. You are not unworthy. You are not forgotten. You are in divine timing. And tonight, the realm of spirit leans into your home with urgency. Type 111 to say, "I open the door." Archangel Michael says, "I am not just standing at your door. I am guarding it. My sword is not sheathed tonight. It is drawn, and it is burning with divine fire because something unholy has been circling your threshold. You may not see it, but I do. You may not hear it, but your spirit has felt it. Tightness in your chest, sudden mood shifts, strange silence when you enter the room. These are not minor feelings. They are spiritual warnings. A war is happening, right now, in the unseen realm, and your home is the battleground. Let me speak plainly. Not every presence that enters your space is from heaven. There are things that dress themselves in familiarity, but carry the scent of confusion and sabotage. Someone you trust has been spiritually compromised, not possessed, but used. A conversation was held behind your back, and your name was the centerpiece. But heaven heard it. I heard it. And I was dispatched not only to deliver a message, but to stand between you and the force trying to use that conversation to reroute your destiny. This battle is personal. It isn't just about your protection. It's about your position. Because what you're meant to carry, what you're about to receive, has the power to shift generations. That's why the enemy is near. That's why the spiritual messenger is pacing. And that's why I'm not whispering tonight. The line has been drawn. You've entertained too much confusion for too long. You've allowed people access to your spirit who speak love with their mouth but carry betrayal in their shadow. No more. Tonight I come not just as protector, but as enforcer. I have marked the perimeter of your home in the spirit. I have assigned fire to your threshold. But I must warn you, spiritual breaches come from within. It is not always the stranger who brings danger. Sometimes it is the familiar voice, the kind smile, the one who knows how to say the right thing while hiding the wrong spirit. Do not be fooled by comfort. Discern character. Some are not visiting you to love you. They are visiting to spy on your joy, to siphon your light, to bring back reports to the very thing trying to block your future. Do you know who I'm speaking of? Their name has echoed in your dreams. You've seen them in your spirit when no one was around. You felt it, that something is off feeling, but you stayed silent, convincing yourself it was paranoia. But it wasn't paranoia, it was discernment. And now heaven confirms it. You were right to be uneasy, because they've already spoken your name in a deal they didn't think heaven would hear. But I heard, and so did the spiritual messenger outside your home. That's why they were sent first, to deliver the final message before the confrontation begins. You have two choices: open and align, or delay and invite deception. And I say this with all the love in heaven: you have delayed long enough. The messenger is here. I am here. But so is the enemy. And this is your spiritual warning. If you allow your emotions to override your discernment, you will give an open door to what I've been sent to shut down. Don't cry over the ones I'm removing. Don't chase what I'm blocking. Don't apologize for drawing spiritual boundaries, because some people can only survive in your life when your light is dimmed. But your light is no longer negotiable. Heaven has made a decision, and the angels have received a command. No more delays, no more double lives, no more pretending not to see what's clearly been exposed. I am Michael. I don't play games. I don't knock softly. When I show up at the threshold, it's because something has to shift. And I say to you now, something will shift. Tonight, inside your home, inside your spirit. You will feel it, a release, a confrontation, a truth, a sudden move of divine justice. You may not hear a physical knock, but someone will say something that reveals their true heart. Listen closely. A slip of the tongue, a message sent to the wrong person, an emotion they can't hide anymore. That's the beginning of the exposure. Don't argue. Don't retaliate. Just watch. Because I'm doing the rest. And as I stand with my sword drawn, I say this to you. No more open doors for hidden enemies. No more access for traitors disguised as companions. No more sacrificing your peace just to maintain fake connections. You were not born to be used. You were born to be crowned. And tonight the crown is being polished, but the counterfeit must be removed before it rests on your head. The messenger outside your home was sent as a final knock before judgment begins in your circle. This isn't just spiritual protection. This is a spiritual court session. And it begins now. You've cried for truth. It's coming. You've begged for clarity. It's here. You've prayed for breakthrough. But first, the chains must be cut. And some of those chains are names, people, patterns, places you keep returning to out of guilt, not grace. So now I command you, look again at your threshold. Feel it. Something holy is stirring, and something unclean is trembling, because they can sense the angelic flame that now surrounds your house. If they speak against you tonight, their words will return to them. If they try to enter with wrong intentions, they will feel resistance, because I have posted angels on every side of your house, and their swords are not decorative. You asked for safety. This is what it looks like. You asked for healing. This is where it starts, by removal. And let me make this clear. You are not being punished. You are being protected. You are not losing people. You are being lifted. You are not alone. You are chosen. And heaven is now moving on your behalf. Open the door. Open your spirit. And let the messenger deliver what has been delayed for far too long. This is not just a warning. It's an intervention. Type 444 to say, I choose spiritual protection over emotional attachment. Archangel Michael says, I do not take this lightly, child. This is heaven's final attempt to reach you before something shifts in the unseen, permanently, before the door that is open now begins to close. And I was not sent with suggestion. I was sent with urgency. This is not encouragement. This is an intervention. Because heaven has tried, and you've delayed. When the bird circled your window for no reason, when that dream repeated with eerie precision, when your body felt something was coming, but your mind drowned it out, that was them, sent by heaven, assigned to you. And every time they return to the throne with the same report, they're not listening yet. And I, Archangel Michael, stood silent, waiting, watching, hoping. Because you asked God to move. And God did, but obedience always opens the door. And that is where the breakdown happened. You were told to walk away from that situation, and you stayed. You were nudged to close a spiritual door, and you kept it cracked for the sake of comfort. You were prompted to confront the lie, and you swallowed your voice to keep peace that was built on dysfunction. I say this in love, but with fire in my voice. That ends tonight. Heaven is not silent. You are distracted. And the window that has been opened for you, divinely timed and heaven-sealed, is narrowing with each minute you hesitate. Why? Because destiny is time-sensitive, and the moment that is here now will not wait forever. The messenger pacing outside your spiritual threshold has reached a breaking point. They were instructed not to return again. They have waded through your fear, your doubts, your what-ifs, your second-guessing. They have hovered near your home as your soul wept quietly in bed. And still, they waited. But the final command has been issued from the throne. Deliver this message now or return. So I plead with you, don't miss this moment. You've prayed, God, why am I still stuck? Because you keep skipping the instruction. Breakthrough requires movement. And while your mouth says, I'm ready, your actions whisper, I'm still afraid. Let me ask you, what have you tolerated in silence that heaven already called out? What habits have you kept hidden under grace that God called you to destroy? What person have you allowed to speak into your life while they silently poisoned your spirit? You know who they are. You feel it even now as I speak. Because your spirit is not confused. Your heart has been screaming for deliverance. But your mind keeps romanticizing what was never holy to begin with. That's why the message keeps returning. Because God is trying to love you out of bondage. And tonight, that love comes as warning. I don't speak often with this kind of intensity, but heaven's patience has limits. You are not being threatened. You are being invited to escape. This is your exit. This is your intervention. This is your moment. But here is the sobering truth. Heaven does not chase forever. And if you walk past this again, if you ignore the knock, if you brush off this voice as another spiritual message, then the next time you cry out, the response may feel like silence. Not because God stopped loving you, but because He already answered, and you walked away. Please don't walk away again. Let me tell you something I don't say lightly. Your spirit is marked. You carry a divine inheritance. And the war around you is not about what's happening now. It's about what you're called to become. That's why the enemy sent distraction disguised as opportunity. That's why familiar faces turned suddenly cold. That's why the people who once cheered for you now avoid your name. Because what's being born in you is threatening to every lie that tried to survive off your silence. And that birth requires separation. You cannot take old soul ties into a new season. You cannot step into prophetic clarity while dragging generational confusion. And the messenger outside your home is not bringing blessings only. They are bringing a divine pair of scissors to cut what should have been severed years ago. Will it hurt? Yes. But healing always starts with exposure. And heaven has chosen tonight to pull back the curtain, to reveal the hand behind the betrayal, to whisper the real reason your spirit has been restless, to place in front of you not just hope, but a decision. You must choose alignment or delay. The spiritual window won't stay open. You asked for a sign. This is it. You asked for clarity. This is it. You asked for confirmation. This is it. The messenger won't knock again. And I, Michael, will not plead again, because the fire I carry is not just for protection, it's for purification. And your house, your heart, your circle must be purified. You can't say yes to heaven and stay linked to hell. You can't ask for breakthrough and resist the breakaway. So tonight, in the name of the living God, I declare, this is heaven's final attempt to reach you before delay becomes devastation, before silence becomes sorrow, before distraction becomes destruction. But there is still time. If you choose to open your ears, open your heart, open your obedience, and the messenger will enter, not with wrath, but with revelation, not with judgment, but with justice, not with fear, but with fire that heals what religion couldn't touch. This is not a message. This is mercy, and it is dripping with urgency. Type 999 to say, I will not miss my moment. Archangel Michael says, come closer now. I need you to hear this in the quiet of your soul, not with panic, not with pressure, but with full awareness that what I am about to say was hidden until tonight. There is something in your home, something small, something overlooked, and yet it holds the answer to what you've been praying for. It is not new. It has been there for a while, waiting, forgotten, dismissed as ordinary. But I have been watching it, hovering over it, because it carries the key to your next season, and heaven has chosen this moment to bring it into light. A piece of paper, a name in a journal, a photo tucked in a drawer, a message left on a phone, a slip of words you almost deleted, a book you haven't opened in years. You think it's nothing, but I tell you now, it's everything. This object, this message, was placed near you not by chance, but by design. It carries not just information, but impartation. When you find it, your spirit will feel it immediately, like a divine spark pressed into your chest. That's how you'll know it was the one. Let me ask you gently, do you remember that strange urge you had a few days ago? To check that old box? To open that email folder? To clean the drawer you never touch? That was not coincidence. That was the messenger moving in the spirit, nudging you, pulling you toward discovery. You didn't follow the nudge then, but you must follow it now, because the thing hidden inside your house is not just an object, it's a message in disguise. A message from heaven. A message from someone who once loved you but could not say what they needed to say. A message sealed in silence, until this hour. Someone tried to cover it. Someone hoped it would never be found. But heaven does not forget what belongs to you. This truth was buried, but it was never destroyed. And now the same spirit that raised the dead is breathing upon your house, upon your rooms, upon your walls. And he is saying, it is time. Time to uncover. Time to release. Time to awaken what was sealed. Your house, yes, the one you're in right now, is carrying evidence of divine interruption. You thought your home was quiet, but spiritually, it's been vibrating. You thought the atmosphere was still, but the angels have been pacing for days. You thought it was just dreams, but it was a spiritual courier moving between dimensions, waiting for you to open your eyes. The message is near, very near. And here's what I must whisper to you now. You won't find it by force. You won't stumble on it by mistake. You will be led to it, led by peace, led by intuition, led by a sudden holy curiosity that stirs you to walk, to look, to move with no logical reason, except that something inside you says go. When that feeling comes, obey it instantly. Don't second-guess it. Don't delay. Heaven is not sending the messenger again, but heaven has marked the place where the message waits. And once you find it, something inside of you will break and be healed at the same time. It may be a memory that floods back, a moment you forgot, a voice you hadn't heard in years that suddenly whispers again through that item. That's how you know the moment is real. It will not just make you remember. It will reveal. Reveal the lie that kept you stuck. Reveal the truth that sets you free. Reveal the person who tried to erase the evidence of what was meant for your good. This message will answer more than one question. It will confirm something you sensed but couldn't prove. And the moment it's uncovered, you'll realize why the enemy worked so hard to distract you. Why strange things happened in your home this week. Why emotions rose for no reason. Why conversations around you suddenly became vague or tense. It was to pull you away from this discovery. Because this message unlocks freedom. And when freedom arrives, bondage has no more claim. I say this now with divine clarity. There is no random detail in your life tonight. Every noise, every flicker of light, every object you're drawn to, it's all part of the guidance. And I am walking with you in the spirit now, hovering near the exact spot. Your hand will tremble, your heart will pause, and you will know, this is it. Do not fear what you find, because what you uncover will not hurt you. It will heal you. The pain it reminds you of will begin to dissolve. The confusion it clarifies will feel like a wave of fresh air in your chest. The part of you that has stayed hidden for years will come back alive. Because this message, child, is not just about information. It is about reclamation. You are reclaiming your inheritance, your clarity, your voice, your divine memory. And when that happens, everything changes. You will not need to confront anyone. You will not need to shout. The truth will do the work. The truth will protect you. The truth will place fire around your name. And the truth will activate the next messenger that's already on the way. Yes, there is another one coming. But they cannot be sent until you open this first package. One revelation must be received before the next can arrive. And it begins with your willingness to search, to listen, to find what's already in your house. You asked heaven for a sign. Heaven hid it in plain sight. Now I say, go and uncover what's been waiting for you. The messenger will not return, but the message is still here. In your home, in your drawer, on your screen, behind that object you forgot, near that picture you walked past. It is here, and so am I. I will wait at the door until you find it, but not for long. Type 888. If your heart says, I'm ready to uncover what's mine. Archangel Michael says, it is done. The message has been delivered. The veil has been lifted. Now you stand at the most critical moment of your spiritual life, not at the mercy of fear, but in the power of choice. What you do next will echo through dimensions. Because tonight was not just a visit, it was a divine activation. You were not forgotten. You were not overlooked. You were chosen. The spiritual messenger outside your home was not an illusion. They came with heaven's approval. They came carrying the answer you've cried for in secret. And now, heaven watches, waiting to see what you will do with what you now know. Don't fall back into distraction. Don't silence the conviction. Tonight, your obedience is your open door. Search your home. Search your heart. Uncover what was buried. And when you find it, don't delay. Act, declare, release. Because heaven's reward is already hovering in your atmosphere. There will be a sign within 72 hours, a name revealed, a truth confirmed, a weight lifted. You will know this moment was real when what once caused pain begins to unravel in peace, when the impossible begins to bend, when your sleep deepens, when that strange tension breaks, because something has already shifted. You're not going back. You're not staying stuck. You are rising into the season that was always meant for you. This was never just about a message. It was about your inheritance. Your home has been marked. Your name has been spoken. And now, your future has been unlocked. Type 777 if you declare, I have received it. I will not miss my moment.